Good evening, ballers. Welcome to the 37th episode of the Stepback. 37.
Man, thought
Yeah,
about it.
Confirmed.
yeah, I did. I had the number wrong last time. I said 35. We're on 37. Okay. 37. Your host, Leon Thompson, my main man, Jacob Moses, and our special guest this evening from Pod Jobbers, superstar, CL Kid, Charles Martinez. How you doing, bro?
Great, guys. Definitely love being on here.
Oh, man, it's good having you on, man. We had some good energy last time. Unfortunately, you're a Celtic fan, but, always love your energy, your input. Just a real treat to have you on.
You're a New Jersey Nets fan or a Brooklyn Nets fan? I forget which. I forget how legit. I'm making sure how legit it was for that Celtics jab.
Well, you should be thanking me for Tatum and some other guys who've been blowing up for you. So
I'm thanking you for
consider
taking
me the
away
gift that keeps on
Kyrie.
giving.
You can have Kyrie.
Oh man, last time you left off, it was Thanksgiving. Time of Thanksgiving, thanks, and we had our good friend Ray on, Lakers fan, celebrating his championship. I thank him for coming on before, and he provides some real insight, good energy. And this week, we got our good friend CL Kid, Charles Martinez. We're gonna get into a lot of the statements made in the league this week. Top 10 rankings, top 5 duos. How you guys feeling?
Oh man, I'm ready to do this, man. I did this shit in like a whole hour sitting on it thinking, okay, I got it. I did 10. I had to do more than 5. 5 was just it wasn't enough. So we got to bring the smoke here. But yeah, it took a little bit because the additions and subtractions of the teams. So it was kind of, I'm like, damn, I got to put them here in the rankings and put them there. But I'm ready to go, man. This should be a good one.
Yeah, man. I didn't know you guys had a Lakers fan on last week. I definitely have to come.
Yeah.
Come a little harder now. I mean, damn, I can't stand them. But hey, that was the last thing I wanted to happen. And the NBA does that to me. It's like, who do you want to win? Not them. Okay, we're gonna go with them. It's always the team I hate that wins. Never get anything.
How do you feel about the offseason moves Boston made?
I love the offseason moves. I thought we were overloaded in the small forward position with the wings. And not, you can never have too many 3-and-D type players. Not that Gordon Hayward is a super defensive guy, but, he moves well on the court. But just too many guys that do the same things. Jaylen Brown before was more of like not really a defender, but that was his role on our team. Now that he's developed his game, working with T-Mac and whatnot, we don't really need a Hayward, honestly, especially with that amount of minutes logged and no bigs. So I like the moves to bring in Teague, have somebody off the freaking bench that can ball handle. No offense to Wanamaker, he improved, but let's be honest. And Smart's not a true point guard, so that's a great pickup. And I'm forgetting who we picked up. Big man here, blanking. Got rid of
Thompson.
Yeah, we got rid of Cantor, Brogdon, Thompson. That's a good pickup too. He's a bit of a diva sometimes, but still, you can never have too many big men that can move in front of a small, in front of a small forward and small shooting guards, because we need bigs that can rotate bad. So I'm liking this roster a lot.
Yeah, I like what they did, considering like you look in the division. This division is loaded with big men. Philly, Brooklyn, even the Knicks got some serviceable big men. So Boston really had to improve their front court in order to really contend. I thought they were a big away from at least going to the finals, but they addressed their needs.
Yeah, I agree fully. That though, like I said, I don't know if you guys remember back then. It's like the only teams I don't want to play is freaking Miami or Milwaukee, and it came down to one of those two. We lost anyway because we don't beat Miami, even though we match up well with them. We just don't. And Milwaukee is just, Giannis is – I'm a Giannis hater, and I always hear analysts, not hater because he's still a stud, but you know what I mean. Everyone's always on the Giannis bandwagon. But I always say come playoff time, half court sets, he's going to do nothing. But, man, he'll kill us. We got no size. So I'll take Thompson. I will take him. If we're not going to get a Kevin Love or somebody, fine.
Yeah.
Not my MVP.
No. Have any of you guys looked at the schedule so far? Any games you guys have circled?
Besides Christmas, I haven't really looked at it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same here.
But I am looking forward to the Christmas schedule. It's pretty packed. So.
It's funny just because it's you. First thing I see anytime I see a Christmas schedule when I don't see the Knicks on there, even though that makes sense. It always breaks my heart a little bit because as much as people hated on him, because you know me, and I know you love Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony always got the Knicks a Christmas game.
Absolutely.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
So I got so used to that. So when I don't see the Knicks on there, I'm always like, damn. Even though he's not gonna be on there, but still, I'm always a little hurt. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
they were there for a while.
They were. I mean, it was nice to see them, especially when they were actually playing well. But now it's just, don't put them on national TV unless it's like a COVID outbreak or something, and they have to put a game on there. Don't do it to you.
No, they'll show some repeat Rafael Nadal match before they throw the Knicks on there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Melo because Brandon Roy apparently gave him the go-ahead to take number 7 in Portland. And apparently he's trying to throw back and bring his braids back, thinking he can turn back the hands of time.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't see that. Maybe I should have wore my Brandon Roy jersey for this, or a Melo jersey, either one. But Syracuse lost last night, so I didn't think about it. I was kind of annoyed. So I just go with Celtics.
Maybe they'll bring back some of his athleticism too, man. You never know. I mean,
I don't know. That's a strange character, that mid-range guy.
Hey, it works, man. Nothing like the mid-range game. Jab step, jumper.
Yeah. Elbows over the head first. Love it. Still my favorite player in the league right now.
I mean, he showed a lot in the bubble. He's still clutch, and now he's finally come to realization, many years too late, that he's much better coming off the bench. Pride, ego, maybe got in the way, but he's coming to realize that as Dame's team, he can serve his purpose off the bench and still get his minutes, get his points up. I'm glad he went back to Portland. He has a legit shot at the ring.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was no doubt where he should have went. I mean, I heard the little rumblings, the Knicks, if we didn't get Chris Paul, somebody else, it wasn't happening. And I really didn't want him to come back to New York because it was just going to be all about him pretty much. And then, Thibodeau's going to have to play him instead of playing somebody like Knox just to see what he has. And then it just would have been a mess. So, like you said, I'm glad he's back with, Dame, CJ, Nurkic, all of them. They can make a run.
I don't believe in them at all, but they still have a nice roster. They're cute. I'll give them that. I think Dame is a more flash than cash. No offense. I just made that up. I like that. But no. He's just – I love Lillard, but, that I'll never let go of that Warriors series when they were all banged up and there was a chance for the Blazers. And then they got swept. And I know you lost the Pelicans the year before. Swept also. Damn. I don't know. It's hard, man. I was on the Dame bandwagon a little early. So, he let me down and made me look bad a few times. So, just because you shoot from half court now doesn't mean I gotta believe. So I'm a little hurt. I saw him practicing the half court shots.
Oh man, no, I've been rocking with him since rookie year. I just kind of followed him a little bit, and then the dude is tough as nails, and he can carry a team for the most part.
Yeah.
Until he got to LA, until LA, they were like, okay, you got a game. Enough said. That was enough.
Yeah, damn it. Every time too. They always win that. These LeBron opponents, they love to win that first game and give you a little like hope. Like, damn it. Always gotta lose. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's starting to sound a lot like PG coming up with a lot of excuses.
Oh man, I see how it is.
I
I didn't have any excuses. I didn't.
mean, he'd answered it.
Oh, he damn did. Oh, he's got an excuse every freaking place he goes. Oh, well.
I mean, he came out, said it was Doc's system. He's not JJ Redick. He's not Ray Allen. Yeah, we know you're not Ray Allen. We know you're not JJ Redick, but you're a top 15 player in the league. What's the deal? Stop, it's not the coach. Take some accountability.
Yeah, and that play calling, here in Orlando, Terrence Ross comes off that curl really strong and pulls the three. But when he comes in off that with that speed, after shooting once or twice and the defense starts to read it and they continue to run that curl, he has the ability to just one dribble and go forward and go for that floater or, make the pass to the next slasher. And it starts to work, but he doesn't do it. Like, why doesn't PG come off those screens the way he's talking about, put the ball on the floor and attack? Because now you got people cheating the screens, going under, staying under, trying to cheat over, and he could just slash right to the paint, and it'd be a 2-on-1 in the basket every time. But I don't know. He's just soft. I'm done with his soft ass.
That was Indy PG. Remember, that was Indiana Paul George.
Yeah, Indiana Paul George. It's except for that last shot where he bricked off the backboard against, who was that, Miami or whatever. I loved Indiana Paul George.
Yeah, he never really made excuses. He was,
no.
I'm not Indiana. It's all in. That pretty much was it. I'm gonna help you.
No.
Hey, Jason Kidd over there. Get it? It's
like,
Kidd.
Yeah, can you go play? He's gonna have to find
then, well, Indiana PG said he had no help. That's why he wanted out.
That's what it was. Yeah, after
he was
fine after the whole Eastern Conference final. He's like, oh yeah, we're doing it. And then all of a sudden the rambling started happening. It didn't really give him help. I give him that. But dude, you gotta perform too. And Oklahoma City, Westbrook was pretty much PG had his moments, yes. But we all know that was Westbrook and everybody else. Then you come over to the Clippers. Oh, homecoming. We talked to each other. Me and Kawhi, we wanted to do this for our city, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, well, you want to play call. Like you said, you're a top 15 player in the league. There is no reason why you should be making excuses. And I don't know. I used to like the guy. Now he's just fuck out of him.
He's changed, man. He's definitely changed. And maybe he'd never changed. He just never had a platform to speak early on in Indiana. Then he just decided to open his mouth. He should have never did that. So, oh well.
I mean, that's not true. He always said he wanted to retire as Pacer. No, I'm not as a Thunder.
As a Thunder. Oh no, you meant the Clippers.
My bad.
Oh, you meant he never wanted to go to the NBA at all. He just wanted to retire in college, in high school, and middle school. Damn middle school coach.
But the best response was from Doc later in the week saying, "Well, Ty Lue was there. You think anything's going to change?" He's sitting right next to me.
Yep.
Facts. Major facts.
Nothing's changing. So enjoy those curls.
Yep. I love coming off a damn curl. You can do so much with it. I don't know why a guy with that skill set can't. Makes no sense.
He's too busy hitting the side of the back.
Oh, terrible. What a full job.
Never full job. Apparently he's been passed around the league. Once yours, now mine. Kyrie Irving. Makes a lot of comments, makes a lot of statements. I mean, no comment to the media because he's doing a media boycott. Came out with a statement and said he does not want to be misconstrued, so he'll let his actions on and off the court do the talking.
What up?
You had Kyrie in Boston. What's your take on Kyrie?
Kyrie does not move the ball around. That's my take on Kyrie. Every time, what's up? My brother's in here. What up? Doing a podcast. Get out of here. No, but Kyrie, yeah, he never moves the ball around. You see, there's a play. I think it was against Toronto, but it could have been against Philly, where you had Al Horford clapping for the ball at the top of the. And this is some years back, obviously. You had Al Horford clapping at the top of the key, looking for the movement, and then just giving him the flailed arms with like 8 seconds left in the shot clock because Kyrie's just isoing with his back to. I mean, he's got amazing ball handles, but he's not moving the ball around, and that's the Celtics way, It's throwing everything off. It kind of pissed me off, even though he came in as like my favorite point guard in the league, and now, that's definitely not the case. So good luck with that. And you have KD, who is too passive, so that's not going to work out. You and your weird Nets team is going to be interesting for sure.
KD is a killer.
KD is a killer, but he's only a killer when he's on teams that create crazy amount of space. Where was the killer KD and Thunder? It wasn't there. So we'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. He wasn't doing anything in OKC. Remember those Grizzlies? Remember those Grizzlies series? He was getting locked down with Tony Allen. He wasn't doing anything. He had like 4 missed shots at the end of games. Every overtime he had a missed shot. He always deferred. I don't know if he has it in him to be a full-on stud with a Kyrie next to him, they're going to do that whole Melo Iverson take turns thing. But if they want to beat the Lakers, I'm fine with that.
I mean, we'll see how it's going to be because, since KD's he never had a player like as clutch as KD on his team, as he said. I had a big problem with that. I'm like, dude, yes, you hit the shot against, in the finals, but, anybody remember what a block by Jay? You didn't do that shit. You didn't chase Iguodala down. That was game right there. Iguodala drops that. Dude, just shut your mouth. You're good. One of the best players in the league. Play ball. Don't open your mouth. But and the whole LeBron thing, I'm hurt, man. Shut up. You grown. You shouldn't be hurt about that. You know what that's all about. That was kind of fragile to me. Oh, it was hurt. Anyway, now back to Kyrie. Just dude, everywhere you go, you complain, and he had the nerve to complain in Cleveland. That's point one. First of all, if it wasn't for LeBron, your asses would have been still winning 13, 14 games in the lottery every single year. And then you wait to say this on a podcast while the finals is going on. Let's say that again. Let's run it back. The finals is going on. That's pretty bad. Like, dude, you're hating while he's busting ass in the finals about to win his fourth chip. Like, come on now. It just makes you look really bad and salty. And it's not a good look whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, LeBron will, cry while he's driving right by you in his Porsche. So I'm pretty sure he'll be all right.
Yep. I'm definitely with you on that one.
Well, as far as Kyrie goes, he's a moody guy. I think he's misunderstood. We had a whole episode on him before.
Mm-hmm.
So he gives to charity. He gave $1.5 million to the WNBA. So, I mean, he also made a big fuss about the bubble. Wanted to create his own league. So you take him at his word. You kind of like, what is he talking about? But you take his actions off the court. You think he's genuine, but then you think he's disingenuous. So I guess if you bypass all that by just not talking to anybody. I kind of get it, but if you listen to Stephen A. Smith, it's a contractual obligation, and who takes any stock in what Stephen A. says?
I mean, I just think Kyrie always wanted to play with his best friend, and so did Kevin Durant. And they finally have two people together that actually want to ball together. Kevin Durant was an outlier, and not an outlier in terms of skill, but in terms of being part of the locker room in Golden State. And so now he gets his own spot with his buddy. Kyrie wanted his own team. Winning wasn't everything to him. He wanted to be the person that caused the winning. So he wasn't going to get that with LeBron there. So now they finally have a spot where they can both share that platform. So maybe he'll behave. Maybe he'll pass. Maybe he'll do all these things we're not saying. There are times where he was ranked last in defensive efficiency at his position. And then he started rising up before the injury with Boston even. But it's just all about health with that team. Kyrie's banged up all the time. Kevin Durant's always, obviously, he's not always banged up, but he's coming off a serious thing. So, and the rest of the roster is pretty nice. But in terms of where you guys got them finishing in the East, I know the season is kind of like irrelevant. Usually you get teams like Indiana or Denver near the top just because they try for those seedings much harder. But realistically, where do you got them finishing in the East? Regular season. Top 5. Okay, top 3?
No.
4?
Not yet. No, I'm not going to go that far. I mean, if they were coming off like healthy seasons, I'm giving them top 3 easily, but I'm going to say 4th or 5th. And I'm going to stay with, hold on, I'm going to go 4th.
Okay, so we're going to pretend they're going to stay healthy. Let's go with that first of all.
So if they stay healthy, I'll give them 4th right now.
4th. So I'm assuming what? Milwaukee, Miami, or what do you got ahead of them?
Milwaukee,
and Boston?
No, hell no.
No. I knew you were going to do that.
Down there.
Toronto?
No. They down. Well, they stay consistent. They lost Gasol, but so they're going to drop. So Milwaukee, Miami, Philly. Philly. I can see them taking that 3rd spot.
I'm not a believer in that team at all, man.
Philly, regular season they can win the games. I mean, it doesn't matter. Obviously, we've seen Milwaukee get bounced. It didn't matter where you were. If you sucked in the playoffs, you were getting bounced. So seeding's not going to matter. If I was the Nets, I might hang low. Hey, give me a set. Give me an AC.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can. I'll say 4th or 5th in the East. That's fair.
What about Sleepy Nate over there? Are we sleeping on the Nets?
Apparently he is.
You got him finishing 1. The top spot. I knew it. Saw that coming.
Going for the number 1 spot.
That the Luda?
Biggest threat is Milwaukee. I think health-wise, it's the deepest team in the East. And, if that chemistry is what they say it is, I don't see anybody in the East topping them.
Yeah, but when has any team come in with changes like that the chemistry is what it said it is? Like you usually start picking it up late in the year and you go from like 5th to 3rd or 2nd. But teams like Milwaukee might take a step back in terms of how hard they push during the regular season just because they haven't had the postseason success. So maybe they'll take some more rest days. I know there's going to be rules and stuff, but, you got a team like Boston that already has – Jeff Teague and Thompson, they're going to be easy to plug and play. So we're not really – our chemistry's still there, And then who else do you say? Philly is – I don't even know what to think about Philly. They're always banged up. I don't really believe in them either way come postseason. But regular season, like you said, they'll ball up. But if they're healthy, and we are assuming health here, so top 4 for sure. Unless you get one of these like weird Pacer seasons or Heat seasons where they do that thing that they just randomly show up. Like Pacers are always 4 or 5 somehow. I don't understand it. But
always.
I hate that like Pacers Raptors section where they're like always.
Yeah. I think the one team that throws a monkey wrench in all is the Atlanta Hawks.
I was just about to say that.
They're contending. They're contending for 8th seed with Washington.
Yeah, but still, where they were, they made just major changes with that squad. It's young Herder, Cam Reddish, John Collins. They got Rondo, picked up Gallinari. You had Capella.
Oh, with the accent there too. I heard that.
Gallinari. You had that right there. But you basically Trae Young wanted help, and they did what they had to do. And let's see what they can. Between them and Washington is going to be really interesting. Those are my 2 teams that they have so much young talent. And if they take that step, and plus those playing games, it just makes it even better for us fans to watch. And you're going to love that.
Yeah, playing games are the only way the Magic are going to get any kind of postseason run here. Damn it! Back to being out of the spot. Isaac out for the year. You never know, but we're not as good as even Charlotte at this point without Isaac.
Yeah. I need
Isaac changes our whole roster. We get Isaac in there. I think we're a playoff team.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And then Bamba. I like
Bamba's okay. I'm kind of done with Bamba. I'm not gonna lie. He's got no hands.
Now definitely overhyped to me. We need a real big bounce back season from Aaron Gordon. Maybe he might be a trade chip. I'm not sure.
I pray he's a trade chip. I've been done with Aaron Gordon for 3 years.
Hey, he finally got a little jumper.
No, he doesn't. He's got the ugliest like 2K. Like, you know, when you go to 2K, you go to shoot a 3, but you hold on to the button too long and it like slides up and shoots the mid ranger, and then you like force the mid ranger. That's the Aaron Gordon jumper. I can't stand his jump shot. He should be a slasher. He needs to go out west. I thought he should have been in Phoenix or even Golden State, but now he's going to be with the Magic again and again and again. We're just going to have Fournier, Vooch, and Aaron Gordon for the next 25 years. So tired of it.
But those jerseys are going to be nice, though.
Those jerseys are going to be fresh.
They ain't going to be shit. But those jerseys are fire.
Yeah, that's our legacy right there. Ever since Shaq left.
Thanks. That pinstripe, man. Pinstripe Orlando jersey.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like after looking at the list of the city edition jerseys for the offseason, I've come to grow on the Brooklyn one. Actually, it's actually really nice.
Yeah, it's the Basquiat. I like the Basquiat touch to it. It's pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know which ones are which. I've seen so many fake ones out there that I don't even know what's the real one anymore. So I know the Magic, obviously, and stuff, and I've seen Boston's, which is, you know, it's
classic. They got a classic feel.
Yeah, it's as plain as it. Like, it got even more plain than the already plain. But other than them, I don't know which ones are real.
Yeah, because I know I showed a Knicks one. It had like a Radio City theme, and apparently it was a Reddit edition, and that was way better than what they currently have.
I liked that Radio City one. I forgot about it. I thought it was a real one. Now I am disappointed.
Yeah. It was so I like the last year better than this one. It definitely whatever. I ain't getting.
Yep.
Thanks though.
Yeah, you mentioned before the Wizards. They made a trade Westbrook for Wall. Westbrook changing his number to 4. Wall and Cousins reunite. Harden is still somewhere in the club. What do you make of the Wizards?
And roll with the jam, or you want me to start that?
I'll take it. I like it. I like how, like I said, they have a nice long team with, you know, you put Westbrook there. You can run it off as Beal. He's a monster. You know, now he can he's going to do his thing anyway. But now he has a healthy, you know, sidekick. And you got Denny Avdija. You have Thomas Bryant. He's pretty good. You got Bertans back. That's your gunner. And you're going to need that. And who else they have on that squad? They have Hachimura. Love that kid's games. Tough as nails. Check my day. What? Are you crazy?
It's okay. It's okay.
He's going to be a double machine. And that's – at these times, you need that. And
I'm a half-court guy. If you can't play in the half-court, I'm A on you. That's it.
Yeah, they definitely I like the team. It was actually it's pretty much the same thing when you really look at it with Wall and Westbrook. You know, Eastbrook got traded for Westbrook. I mean, it's freaking funny shit. But yeah, that's gonna be a solid team. They're gonna be fighting for the playoffs, and I can really see them getting in there. I don't know if they're gonna make noise. I doubt it, but getting in the playoffs is a good start.
Okay. Well, first off, so who do you got winning that trade?
Right now, Washington, because Wall coming off that injury. That I mean, start rupturing. I don't know. You just don't know. You know what you're going to get from Westbrook. John Wall, what's coming back? I've seen clips of him in Houston, you know, working out, doing this, and he looked good. But that's practice. We're talking about practice. But you know what you're going to get from Westbrook. He's going to get you your 23, 24, you know, maybe doing his little triple-double thing again, his stat, you know, getting his numbers, his stat padding, as people say. I can't stand that. But he's he's gonna do well. You know what you're gonna get. It's hard to judge, like really compare when somebody's coming off a bad injury. It's just like KD. He can say I feel 100%. Yeah, you come down wrong on your fucking Achilles and you go right back down. You see what happens, but you just don't know. But right now, I'm gonna say Westbrook. TBC.
Not wrong with that. I actually like. I mean, like you said, the health is a huge thing. But I actually like Wall's game beside Harden more than I like Westbrook's game behind Harden. And not to say the comparison between those two, but just to fit with the duos. I think Wall's ability to go, he's always running max speed. But, I mean, both those guys are. But Wall's ability to play in between speed over the past few years, I don't know if it's because of the injuries or because of, like, the little nicked up and stuff. But kind of has, like, that Dwayne Wade thing where he can play in between speeds if he has to. Kind of like a Paul Pierce, Dirk. These kind of guys were they used to go on one speed. As they age, they started to develop that mid speed game. So I like Wall's mid speed game besides Harden. I mean, if Harden is even there, we don't even know at this point. But I don't know. Westbrook and Beal, is that much different than Westbrook and Harden? Like you named some other shooters, Bertans and some of those other guys are. What's really the difference between the Rockets roster and the Wizards roster at this point?
At this point,
if you look at like Tucker is a corner shooter, right? So he's I know he's not a pure shooter, but he's a knockdown corner shooter in the league. What are you really getting improvement wise for Westbrook? Does Westbrook step into a better situation here, other than the fact that he's now the primary ball handler? Like, I don't know if this. Like, do you comparing last year's Rockets to this year's Wizards? What do you prefer? Which team do you think is better? Like,
I think the coaching is the difference. Westbrook and Scotty Brooks, you're not going to be running 5 out every time down. So, they will complement their system to their roster, which is why I think the Rockets. You're right. I think Wall and Harden would be dynamic, but Harden is also at his best when he has the ball in his hand, which is also the same thing as Wall. But then you run into the problem where Harden would break down in the playoffs, and that's why they got a rotation of point guard to come through to try to alleviate Harden from breaking down. Harden's going on his third point guard. Will DeMarcus Cousins help? Will Christian Wood help? Would a change in offensive philosophy help? Possibly.
Yeah, that Christian Wood pickup was.
Yeah,
that Christian Wood pickup was solid. Cousins. I mean, I don't even know how to grade Cousins at this point, but like on paper, that's a nice roster if everyone stays happy and healthy. But it's just a matter of, Cousins is a 6 games a year kind of player at this point.
Yeah.
Nah.
So
Leon Beast when you said Pierce.
Yeah, I couldn't reach the mute button fast enough, but it's okay.
Oh dear. I know. That's okay. When your team wins a championship once, maybe you'll learn to love someone too.
Shit, man.
I have to love him. He got me my one in my lifetime.
That was cold.
Hey, I bought the DVD. I got the shirt. And I was like, immediately, as soon as they won, I went online and made the call.
Hey,
I won't lie though, that DVD was disappointing. It wasn't as good as it should have been.
I mean, it won't show any of the backstage fights. Rondo, Allen, those guys, because we've been hearing about that 08 championship forever.
Hey man, I'm living on the 08. If I'm gonna get this shirt, I'm gonna get a little patch on the side just for you. Just because I don't know. I don't know when's the next time we're actually gonna win. We just keep getting close, but I gotta do what I gotta do.
There you go.
All right, I respect that. Harden, he's been going through his list of teams. First Brooklyn, then what was the other one?
Philly.
No, before Brooklyn.
Before Brooklyn.
Yeah, either way.
No, Philly. It wasn't Philly?
Might have been.
I want to say it was
Yeah,
Philly, then Brooklyn. Now they're talking about Philly again. Yeah.
Anyone think there's a legit shot of him going to Philly?
Hell no. I mean,
No.
I think Morey, right? That's what the GM.
Daryl Morey.
Yeah. He loves Ben Simmons. I don't really think he's gonna, change that. Because as far as I know, Ben Simmons is pretty happy in Philly. Of course you would be. You hardly play now, so I'll be happy too. I was about to get banked for not playing. But other than that, would you really want a disgruntled dude right now? I mean, because you're gonna who are you gonna give up? Please tell me who the hell is gonna be in that trade? Simmons is gonna have to be in that trade for them to even just pick up the phone and say, okay, let's think about it. And Brooklyn, honestly, as I think about it, if you get it, you're gonna screw yourself because you're gonna have to give up. I had this argument. Oh, people saying LeVert's not that good. I said, did you not watch? This is before the bubble. Before the bubble, the dude put the team on his back. This is before he almost broke his leg or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was balling. Like, how the hell are you gonna? Oh, well, he's not that good. You must really don't watch basketball because that kid can play. And then you pretty much have a complete team where you got your primary ball handler in Kyrie, you have your backup, ball handler in anyway, corner store. You got Karis LeVert, of course. You got Jared Allen, who's growing. And then you got the other kid, Claxton, behind him. Plus, you got DeAndre Jordan as a nice piece. Then you got Joe Harris that can shoot the lights out. You have a complete team. Why would you want to break that up? Harden's going to come in. 15 seconds on the clock. Okay. Dribble. Step back. Shoot. You know what the offense is going to be. It's just not going to – it's a bad fit. It would be kind of like the Thunder, Westbrook, Harden. Oh, Durant. Oh, excuse me. Oh, familiar? And they only got so far. But, yeah, just keep your team how it is. You constructed it to way, Nash can do his thing. Whoever the hell's going to coach for him. And let Harden go somewhere else. I don't like, he said some shit about the Knicks, Houston being the Knicks of the South. Come on now. Get the fuck out of here. Just because you're miserable, that don't mean you got to add on to us. You know what I mean?
Nah. He was trying to set the jabs in case he went to the Nets.
I know, right? He's like Spencer Dinwiddie had him on the phone. Listen, this is what you need to say since you might going to come here. I'm always talking shit about the Knicks, so you got to keep on adding on to that. But yeah, he's staying now. Everybody's gonna. They hold no cards in any deal.
Yeah, Simmons was the lead trade piece there. Simmons, a pick, and somebody else to try to make that work. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think the team that I prefer him on most, but this would be in a like a free agent signing kind of way because nothing would work trade wise. Would be Toronto. I think you got a guy that can shoot and score, that can ball handle on a team that wants somebody like that with wing defenders that can knock down corner shots. And they don't have like a primary offense other than, moving VanVleet around. I feel like that's a good fit for him there, but that's not going to happen. And I don't want a trade piece. I just want it to be like a magical, like roster exchange. Right? Just take him and drag him on the roster. But that would work. But realistically, like he's not going anywhere. He's stuck. I mean, the Nets try to make that move. And like you said, you trade. I'm tired of hearing that LeVert and Dinwiddie are just like average players. Like I'm not saying they're going to carry the whole roster here. But those two guys, for you to have Durant and Kyrie, and then, they always say DeAndre Jordan's the big three. But he's not because those other two guys are definitely way better. But to have those two guys behind Kyrie and Durant is nuts. Why would you break that up just to get a James Harden? This isn't a free agent roster like kind of where the Lakers last year were able to add in all these veterans at no price. There's not a lot of big free agents like that. Not that those were big free agents, but those were big pickups. When they started signing like Danny Green and all these guys, I was like, damn it, they're relevant again. Like, they're getting all these guys that nobody – like, how are those guys not on teams already? Magically, they waited to be on LeBron's squad, obviously. But, there's no one like that out there. All those guys have already been picked up. So if you were to trade for Harden and then say I need to fill up 3 or 4 key roster spots, I couldn't tell you anybody right now that's worth those spots for a championship team. So just keep what you got and be happy. The Nets don't know how to be happy. That's what it is. Sleepy Nate, what's wrong? What's wrong with that town?
Yeah, but as a basketball fan, I will keep my eye on them. It will be interesting. About the Knicks I'm playing, and I'm not watching the Wolves somewhere on Basketball Channel. I'll go to the Nets to hear Ian Ingles' boring ass, but I can't stand him. No, I really can't. Sorry.
Like some Mike Breen.
Mike Breen, man. See, that's the one thing I've been blessed with is Mike Breen. I mean, everybody's just hearing that now on TNT and ESPN. They all hear it, man. That was just, man.
You lucked out. You lucked out.
That's the one thing I do get, like the Mets. Gary, Keith, and Ron. We weren't shit. And, man, I got some good old stories to listen to and some interesting freaking commentating. But
yeah, because there's a lot of in between in those Mets games. You need all the stories you can get.
You damn right. You goddamn right. It's all right though. We on our way back. Uncle Steve, he know what to do. Him and Sandy, get it done.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll definitely see. But with Leon, like I said, your team they're primed to go. Hopefully they're healthy. I'm not gonna hate. I hope they stay healthy. I honestly want to see, and going back to our last episode, I want to see a Nets. I want to see the Lakers finals. I want to see that. I want the smoke. I want that.
He didn't look too happy down there, but
Austin ain't going nowhere over there, buddy. I'm sorry.
I know, just like how quickly it's just we want the Nets and the Lakers in the finals. It's like, oh well, that sounds cute, but that means my team's gone. So that must mean we would have ran into Milwaukee or Miami at some point.
And like, you mentioned Harden before. Like, so he's doing the NFL equivalent of a holdout. You can't find him unless he's, in a strip club. Find him every past week. Now he needs 6 straight negative COVID tests in order to return.
He hasn't seen the sunlight in like 2 months. R. Kelly Harden.
Other bills going around, but like, and for his family to come out and say, well, he gave Houston 210%. Well, yeah, he took all the damn shots. Of course, he gave him 210%.
He's the only player in the league qualified to give that percentage.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I understand you wanted to request a trade, but then to like hold out is so unprofessional. It's and then like all places to be. You're not with the family. You're not like you're in a club just throwing bills around, trying to contract other diseases. It's wild.
That's the guy. Come playoff time, he's burnt out from partying.
Some people just don't get it. It's just...
So it's Harden Wall in your top 5 duos? Is that what I'm hearing? You seem disappointed, but at the same time.
They are. I mean, if healthy, they got to be. I mean, no, top 5. Oh, excuse me.
Top 5.
Top 5, no. Top 5, no. Top 5. No, but no, they can't be in there. I got to see them play together, but you also got to see how this is going to shake out because you just don't know because it's a volatile situation to say the least. But top 5 duos, if you want to get into it, I mean, we can. I will gladly do it. You know who my number 1 is? I'll take Leon. My number 1, LBJ, AD. I mean, you're not getting any further than that. They showed you. My number 2, I'm going to take Jokic and Murray. I mean, because what they did in the playoffs, you got to give them props for that. I will say my number 3 is going to be dynamic. If he's healthy, KD and Kyrie is going to be crazy, especially that offense that they're going to be running. They're going to shoot some threes now. They're going to be letting loose. Number 4 for me, I'm going to go with Bam and Jimmy. I would have had KP and Luka there probably, but KP is not, he's hurt. And I'll say my next duo, just because of the track record of Kawhi, I will give it to Kawhi and PG. and then Ben and Embiid is about right here, right next to me. They're on that little ledge, trying to climb up into there. But I'll definitely go with PG and Kawhi because they did win a lot of games. So I got to give them some kind of love because they took a shit in the playoffs. We can't. I can't. I mean, I'm not gonna do it yet. But those are my top five, man. It's hard. It's definitely hard because you just see where everybody can fit and where they can. But yeah, Bam and Jimmy is definitely up there for me for their performance in that playoffs. And when Bam went down, you saw how big he was when he was in the game. Him and Jimmy, they complement each other really well. And those are my top five. I'll stick with it.
Some surprises there.
Yeah,
No.
had to throw a little curve in there.
You want to take it, Sleepy Nate? Any issues there?
I'm surprised. I have one that's not on his list. Number 5, I got Giannis and Chris Middleton.
I was there.
That duo there.
Mhm.
Good offensive defense. Middleton's a good shooter. I think the addition of Holiday is really going to elevate that duo, being able to have a kick-out shooter as well as a premier defender at that position. Because Middleton, you saw why he got the max money. And Giannis, if he just gains a damn jump shot, a mid-range, he'll be pretty much unstoppable. So I got them at
never
5.
gonna happen. Never gonna happen. But they're in my top 5 too.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna put him in. He's not my MVP.
Anyway. Number 4, I have Kawhi and PG, the best two-way combo, in my opinion, in the league. If PG ever knocks down a shot, I mean, you can elevate them to number 2. Number 3, Murray and Jokic. Jokic is the best center in the league. Jamal Murray is the most dynamic, one of the, I guess, top 3 dynamic scorers in the league. Streaky, score at any spot on the floor, and Jokic is just a god with the ball. Number 2, Ben and Joel. If Ben ever gets a jump shot, I mean, mid-range threes, whatever.
That's LeBron.
Their offense defense is more or less unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, you got to go with the defending champs, LeBron and AD.
Yeah, number 1, there should be no debate there.
Yeah.
I cannot put Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid in the top 5. These guys can't accomplish anything. 1, LeBron never had a mid-range jumper, and then he started to develop it, but his form never truly changed. Ben Simmons does not have a form that shows that he can start to hit jumpers, and he won't psychologically. They're out. They can't stay healthy. Joel Embiid can't play until the fourth quarter. They lose to everybody. Every time I see Celtics Sixers line up, I say we're sweeping them. Money on it. I love playing them. So bye. They're done. I'm fine with that Chris Middleton Giannis thing because Giannis is still Giannis for most of the season. And Middleton, Middleton has the game of Kobe Bryant, but only the ability to do 10 jump shots a game. So it's like he has that great basket. He can hit a 3. He can hit you clutch shots, but he can't take high volume. So you're kind of capped with what he's going to give you, especially since the offense is, if you're going to go to Middleton, you're going to go to him like with 10 seconds left in shot clock. He's not very last second shot clock kind of guy. So that means your offensive play already failed by then. So it's they've kind of hit their ceiling as well. A good ceiling, but they've hit their ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned Porzingis and Luka. They're very close, but I'll leave them out. So I definitely have PG and Kawhi at 2 still because the only thing that they sucked at is mental. So I know that PG missed some shots and whatever, and he does that. But ability-wise, Jokic and Murray. Jokic is great, and he is the best center in the game. And Murray is great too. But as you see, the stuff that Murray has to do to create a shot, I mean, it's amazing and beautiful as it is. Just to consistently catch it. He doesn't have like a Jimmy Butler, like let me just swag you one step and like I can get my shot off kind of thing. Jamal Murray has to do spectacular things to get a shot. And that's it's a skill to be able to do it. Devin Booker's the same way. Lillard's kind of the same way at times, so is McCollum. But you got to be able to do it. But the fact that that's kind of the case, I can't count on that consistently. I can't put them above PG and Kawhi. Now, I could put them, 3 or 4, but, I haven't really organized the list much. But I definitely, AD LeBron 1, Kawhi PG 2. That 3 through 5 is definitely the Denver, Milwaukee, and I'm not going to be stupid and put Kemba and Tatum in there. But no offense, but they're not there. They always seem to have to take turns on scoring roles, and not in a non-cohesive way, but it just seems like that's the case. That's not our offense to lean on those two. We have too many other little things going on. I thought about Chris Paul, Booker. I like Chris Paul a lot. I love Chris Paul, and he's another one of those guys that slowed his game down, but has made him so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't not have KD and Durant in there. So, injuries or not. So that's kind of the top 5 for me: the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nets, the Bucks, and the Nuggets.
That's a good one too. I mean, you know what also hurt me? But they were right there as well. It hurt because I wanted to stop myself, Lillard and McCollum, because I
knew you were gonna.
That. I did, man, and they're right there. As I'm writing, I'm going, Lillard. No, I can't do it. They're on top 10. They're top 10 to me.
Oh, sure.
In top 5 is definitely you might go another level for that one.
They're top 2 in 2K playing for fun backcourt. But yeah. Well, you can't put Curry and Thompson in there, obviously, because
Yeah, they would have been up there, obviously, but yeah.
I think like one combo that I think really going to make a huge stride is Mitchell and Gobert if they stay together. Mitchell.
Gobert's offensive game is very Tyson Chandler-ish, though.
Yeah.
I need him to develop that, like at least Nurkic and Jokic can kind of do the turn hook, and but I don't really see offensive game coming from Utah's bigs. Need to get Carmelo down there.
Don't see that. That's 2 strikes now.
Don't do it.
That's 2 strikes.
Don't do it.
I still think Gobert, doesn't have the offensive moves that you would say in Embiid or Jokic or even I think their chemistry together in the time in the bubble, as well as Gobert shutting down the league, could elevate them to that next level.
Yeah, I guess I just always view duos as if only these two were starting your team. Right. Would you feel confident in the like AD can carry offensively and defensively as can LeBron? When you're in that top 5, if each person can't do it, then you're kind of out of that top 5. But top 10 maybe. Without thinking, perhaps.
With these duos, it brings a lot of the rankings towards the upcoming preseason, starting on the 11th. Thank God. I can't watch the Nets here because every TV provider does not have the Yes Network, so I'm somewhat screwed there.
I have the Yes Network, but it doesn't come with those games because I'm out of the market. So they give me Yankee interviews from back in the day.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's bad.
So for the upcoming season, where do you guys have your power rankings for the top 10?
10.
You know my number 1 is. You got to go with the champs.
They got better.
They did, man. They freaking Harrell, Schroeder, Gasol, Matthews, all solid. They're keeping that number 1 spot. Number 2, I'm like this. The 2 final teams, you got the 1 and 2 rankings. That's how I usually I base it off that. I got the Heat, then I got the Bucks. With the Holiday deal, it sucks they couldn't swing it for Bogdanovic. but they're still going to be solid. Giannis, is going to do his thing, and he went back to 3 in a row. It could happen. And then I have the Nuggets, even though they lost a few people, but they picked up, Mikal Green, Facundo Campazzo from the EuroLeague. He's a pretty pass first kind of guy, pretty good. They drafted R.J. Hampton. Will Barton's going to be on his way back. Michael Porter Jr., you know what he's about, and I want him on the Knicks. Still bothers me. Zeke and from Arizona, he's solid. So they lost Grant too, but still, they still going to have a solid team. So I can keep them up there. And I got the Clippers. They lost Green, Harrell, but they picked up, Batum, who I think he just needed a change of scenery to a winning team, and he'll be fine. Because, most of those guys, the foreign guys, you get them on a winning team and get them in a certain system, they'll thrive. Ibaka, you know what he's about. I love Luke Kennard. He's a gunner. So they're going to be solid still. I got the Nets next. I got them there. And they're gonna do the thing healthy. Even if they're somewhat healthy, you gotta watch those guys. You saw what they could do in the bubble without stars on that team. They can keep their heads above water. Then I got the 76ers, who, once again, another team. There's just so many if this team stays healthy. But you got to put them up there because they're going to perform if they have their 2 big guys. I got the Celtics because obviously, even though I got them, they're a top 10 team. Come on, they're gonna be solid. Yeah. Tatum, Brown, that's gonna be a top 5 duo if they keep at it. I mean, those 2 are pretty damn good. Then I'm gonna roll with the Raps. I'm gonna roll with the Raptors. Because they always seem to win games. They got Van Vliet Black, Siakam, Lowry. They're still going to be solid for another few years. And I'm going to go with the Hawks. All right. I'm going to rock with the Hawks. I'm going to keep them in the 10. I was going to put the Mavs, but I don't know how they're going to – I don't know how long KP is out. And the target's going to be on Luka. I don't know what – he's great, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to do by himself. I mean, yeah, you picked up Josh Richardson, and you have a few other pieces, but I think the Hawks make a huge jump. So I'm going to put them in my 10 for now just to have a little smoke in there, but I think the Hawks can do it.
You got Hawks above the Wizards.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing. Just
yeah, I got them because of the Wizards, because of roster, like with Capella, what he can do. John Collins, he's another double. He could be a 2010 guy. Gallinari, you know what he's about. He trusts the floor. Trae Young, Herder. There's so much. I like the talent there than the Wizards, but they're not that far from each other because Westbrook is going to really make up a lot of that. But I'm going to go with the Hawks just for that little shot back. I think they're really going to make a jump this year. If they don't, I'll be shocked.
Okay.
Here's my fire.
All right, I'll run with a quick 10, I guess. It's, the bottom 5, any arrangement. But Lakers, right? Bucks. I'm going to go Bucks number 2. I still think the Bucks are, I know that the matchup didn't suit them. But now with the Drew Holiday there, I like that roster a lot better because that was a big weakness for him. So I'm going to go Lakers, Bucks, Clippers. Still believe in the Clippers. I like that roster a lot. They have to come back stronger, obviously. There's no way they're going to be the same soft system they had before. So Lakers, Bucks, Clippers, Nuggets. And I'll put the Nets in that 5 spot. Going that 6 through 10, any combination of Miami, Boston, Philly, Utah, and who am I blanking on that I just had here? Oh, Dallas. I think that's, if you want to take Dallas out for the injuries, like you just mentioned, that's a great point. I guess I'd have to drop in. I guess Portland. I don't want to put Portland there, but they just have too much to ignore. And I think a healthy Nurkic will change that team if he can stay on there the whole year.
Oh yeah.
So.
And that's what I want to see. Like if he stays
Too.
healthy, they're jumping. They're jumping.
Blazers Nuggets
And
with everyone healthy is like a prime matchup. That's 7 games every time. It's the same roster. It's the same team. Like, I love it.
Yes, they play together. I swear the Nuggets had, I don't know where to pick these. I mean, well, they go to, it's like they scout out in Serbia. They have guys out there. Oh, man,
I say it all the time. Denver Nuggets are the Tampa Bay Rays of basketball. They just always have guys that are good out of nowhere. Scouting, man.
Never fails. Just like with Michael Porter Jr., everybody's scared of his back.
I wasn't.
The Knicks were hot on that kid. I wanted him. I was like, hey, listen, let him sit out the year, fine. And then I guess he didn't want to exchange the papers with the Knicks, and I just said,
he was the best. Before the injury, he was the best player in college. I thought.
Easy, hands down. And also, Bol. Keep that name.
Bol. I know.
Bol. That kid, man.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
He hit the gym a little bit.
Don't worry. Taco Fall.
Listen, I will forever say Boston would have threw him out there. No, but still, if they would have threw him out there just to have a big body,
yeah.
Hey, you never know.
It was worth a shot, man.
Yeah.
Our best big was Marcus Smart. He has Dennis Rodman in him. He was the only person attacking the basket defensive on the boards.
Smart is a dog. That's who you need. You need guys like that on your team.
I love that guy. He
started his progression as a shooter because coming out of Oklahoma State, he could not shoot shit. All right,
dude, I couldn't believe how good he stepped into threes now.
Whew.
Like he does a lot of random like Jameer Nelson threes, and that's okay. But like he steps in confidently, which is shocking considering how bad a shooter. I was just like, I just want him for defense. Now he's hitting threes. He's running off screens. He's playing defense. He's blocking big men. He's rebounding. He's hyping us up.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, yes. Yes. I wish the Nets had somebody like that.
They do.
No, they don't.
Cabarrot, I forgot Wawu Cabarrot. I mean, he could be that. Good prospect. Don't shake your head. How the heck? Leon, come on, son.
Leon hating on his own squad.
Yeah, I said they could. He was like, nah.
I mean, I don't believe either, but like he said, could.
He's a good defensive player. Like that's what he does. I didn't say
he is.
You
need to shoot a little bit. I guess he's serviceable. I wouldn't put him on the level of Smart though. But
No, I say he can be. He can be.
No, yeah, he's like if the Knicks had a Marcus Smart. You know what I mean? Like
we got Frank. We kind of got Frank.
Yeah, Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie smokes. If he can, get a 3-point, if he get a 3, well, he's good from the corner.
Yeah,
he shoots like 50-something% from the corner.
You got Frankie Elfrid Payton. You can't have two guys doing the same thing.
No, don't say that name again. Elfrid Payton. Oh God.
I'm so glad we got rid of him from down here.
Oh, God. If you want to see a damn just ugly offensive game, like he's a good backup. Like if you had like a Damian Lillard, then you had somebody to give him a rest. Elfrid Payton, yeah, that's great. But as a starter,
I've seen him as a backup. I still wasn't impressed.
You've seen him down there, but oh God, just watching him and he just pisses me off. It just makes me. I'm still open my mouth a little bit. I'm sorry.
So
pains of
Ricky asked.
Carry on.
So Ricky asked, is there any team outside looking in from that top 10? Anybody outside the top 10 you see coming in?
If I have to jump in, I'll go Phoenix. Phoenix has they have a good enough roster. They have a little bit of everything. They just got to put it all together, and it's too soon to do it because they kind of have that like Minnesota roster from like 3 years ago where they're making noise. They're right on the 9 seed. They have a chance, and then they fizzle out. Now I think they have better leadership than that, and they have a better scorer in Booker. But that's definitely the team that if Dallas can't stay healthy, if Portland starts acting up again, that you never know, man. They could be the team that starts bringing noise because on paper, against any team really, other than maybe the Lakers. They have a chance. I like their late game ability. You know, there's nothing they can't do. You know, if Ayton's not getting in trouble for whatever reason, you know, they should be. You know, that's my choice. I think honestly.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. Like you said, if Portland couldn't go, I'm gonna go with Minnesota with Russell, with Towns, with Beasley, with Edwards, Rubio coming back. Now they got that point guard that can D up, and he can run an offense just like Russell. If you wanted to go off ball with him, Beasley, he's gonna come off the bench and do his thing, you know. And they got a few other I can't think about the moment, but that team they're solid. It's about time now. They got too much talent not to be able to go to the playoffs. I can't see it.
I wanted to put them above Phoenix, but they never do it. So
it's so weird, man. I don't get it. And trust me, I've been watching them in the Knicks for a long time, and even with Tibbs, he had them playing hard. They got to the playoffs, then Towns just kind of they didn't want to play that way.
Towns went through a lot, so
absolutely.
Yeah.
He definitely went through a lot, so he's going to be playing with a heavy heart the whole season, of course. Loss of a parent, that it just sucks. But those two are two of my favorite players. And Russell, I love, even when he's on the Nets, I watch every time I see my boy Russell go to work. And he wanted to play with his boy. I was happy for him. Like, yeah, he got him some help. But, yeah, Minnesota right now, they're too talented not to go anywhere. I want to see it.
Yeah, they have more talent than Phoenix does. They don't. I don't know if they have the leadership yet. So
yeah, they're young, and see if somebody's gonna. That's what Rubio was brought in for. To have that guy. Hey, let's see if he can do it. Come back and make some kind of magic happen. But like I said, the 7 to 8 maybe. Like I said, you can play in.
Yeah, that's definitely a great question too, because I like those. I love those just out of the playoff teams in the West usually. In the East,
Oh yeah, East,
I'm a little burnt out, but yeah.
So well, it's funny. So from the 10 spot, I had Philly at 10, Utah at 9,
okay,
Atlanta at 8,
Ooh.
Clippers at 7,
Ooh.
Miami 6,
Okay.
Boston 5, Denver 4, Milwaukee 3, Brooklyn 2, and the defending champs at 1.
Too low putting Brooklyn at 9.
You guys, I mean, Brooklyn, you can't knock their ceiling is definitely 2. I mean, their ceiling's 1. Their ceiling's 1, but realistically, the rest of that roster, the Lakers just put together, I'm still like, damn it. So I can't put anybody above them. But damn, you guys love this Atlanta. I don't know. Atlanta, to me, I like their changes. They're much better than they were, but I don't think they're still better than a lot of the other teams you're comparing them to.
That's the East. I mean, listen, if it was a time to jump.
But the question wasn't East to West. It was top 10 overall.
I get you. Yeah, it's just
because they're fighting for a playoff spot in the East. But
yeah, they can definitely. But still, you can still make those jump playing in the West and winning all those games because you playing, shitty ass teams like the Magic and then the Bulls and then of course you play the Knicks. I mean, listen, you grab 2-3 wins.
We talked about the Celtics. We talked a little even about my backup squad, I guess, the Magic, because from here. What about my third favorite squad, Sacramento Kings?
They're fun to watch. I give them that.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. They're fun. That's all I can say. They're fun to watch. But he'll light it up. De'Aaron Fox is just a freaking bolt of lightning going down the court.
Yeah, but they're just like a very good college team. They're not really they're not like a true competitive. Even if I put them in the East, I still don't really believe in them. So it's just like,
it's lukewarm. That's all you have to say.
Yeah, true.
But one team I think outside the top 10, I think could make some noise. Yeah, it's gonna be surprising. It's Chicago.
Chicago who?
The team is long. The team is long. Team is lanky. Marketing for a full year.
Somebody's got
Wendell
to be the
Carter.
crappy team though. Somebody's got to suck, and it's got to be them.
It's going to be
I
Orlando.
think we. No, hey, wait. I think we just both
And it's going to
brought
be the
up.
Knicks.
Okay, well, we know that.
Yeah.
I think we
That's
just.
the answer. I
Now we're
mean,
talking about the
And it's
bottom
going to,
dwellers here.
and it's going to be Cleveland.
I forgot they were a team. And Detroit.
You see? So look at that. Chicago's already rising on the list.
I mean,
By default. Memphis,
yeah,
Chicago.
Memphis is actually good. Memphis good. They can win some games. 3J getting hurt kind of hurt them a lot.
Yeah,
Not
that
kind of.
sucked.
They hurt them a lot.
That killed them. They were actually on pace to not to do anything, but to kind of sneak in, you know.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
forget about the Pelicans. I mean, there's a lot of young teams. I just want to. I'm talking about. Give me that look. I'm talking about young teams. Getting, making strides. I'm not talking about getting some finals. They're gonna make strides. But yeah, Chicago. You said Chicago, son.
Yeah, I think the Knicks, the Bulls, and Cleveland are three teams that really have like. I don't want to say the Bulls have nothing going for them, but
No,
those are
they
like
got
three. Those are like three teams that I can't even take serious right now. Like, there's nothing about them that makes me go like a year from now. I like Levine and like Laurie is good too, but it's just like
Yeah.
I don't see that team being good enough to keep those guys, and they're gonna have to rebuild again and again and again.
Yeah, I can't. I see where you're going. They got Patrick Williams, Laurie Markkinen, Wendell Carter Jr. My boy Zach, my boy Levine, of course, Kobe White, whatever. He's decent.
Get him out of here.
I just can't. Man, you trying to get brownie points from Felipe or something? He gonna be rewinding this part right here.
Well, is he a Bulls hater?
No,
Nah,
this is
he's
Derrick
a
Rose
Bulls
hater.
fan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he can't stand Derrick Rose. MVP,
okay.
Derrick Rose. Stone face when he hits the game winner, Derrick Rose. Even Mick Mills got him a shout out, balling like I'm Derrick Rose. I mean, Derrick Rose is the man.
I mean, that year, Derrick Rose did all the stuff that Westbrook did in the triple-double year, but also got his team to win games. So it's, not in terms of statistically, but he played full heart and did a lot. So he deserves to be MVP. But since then,
I mean,
Detroit, Derrick Rose.
Hey. He went to Minnesota. I watched the game when he dropped 50. That was great. And to see him on the court, he was. I mean, just everything came back.
I remember Tony Delk dropped 50 too.
No, I remember that too, man. That was great. But listen, Tony Delk is not Derrick Rose. I did. I actually watched that game too.
Me too.
Oh, master.
Anton Jameson game. I saw y'all post.
When you saw was number 50 just. What the hell? Tony Delk? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, that's.
Standard definition TVs. Good Lord. But yeah, Derrick Rose, man.
But yeah, I think Chicago's biggest problem was offense and their coaching. With Donovan in there, I think Chicago has a chance to really shock some people. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'm on the drugs. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you are. You got to start. Look at all these new league. If you were in the league right now, you'd be violating something.
Definitely not the weed policy because we're not testing for it anymore. Wake and bake season.
Facts.
Between that, the COVID rules, and the resting rules, it's a lot of policy talk there with the NBA.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. You can smoke, but you can't smoke in a bar. You can't smoke in a lounge. You can smoke in your house. So, and we're gonna. And then how are you gonna enforce the resting rule? You can pull Belichick and just make up an injury.
I mean, you look at those Spurs teams; they were resting everybody all the time, and what made it worse was they would win the games. So it's frustrating. I hate it because I go to most of the Magic games here, and nobody goes for them. I mean, I go to watch the Magic, but 99% of the Brazilians there go to watch the other person, and every single time you get tickets for this, Blazers game or the Clippers game, and then the Raptors game back then, you never get the star on the other side. It's always just this lame matchup. So it's very frustrating that people rest so often. Plus, it's just you don't need that much rest. You just don't. Just play like every other person in the history of the game has always played and won. So I don't understand the softness and need for rest. I don't. If the league was 120 games instead of 82 games, people would be resting after 82 games because
Mhm.
all of a sudden they would have adapted to it and been fine. But since the 82 is such a big number, magically all of a sudden, even though technology and health care and everything's 100 times better than it's ever been, I just don't get why all of a sudden everybody needs a rest. It's like you can't enforce it, you can't penalize it, you can't measure it. There's nothing to do. So it comes down to the players at the end of the day, and they're never going to want to play anymore because they've seen that it could work. But I'm hoping Kawhi learned his lesson last year because his teammates hated it, and it didn't lead to any success. So I don't know how the rules are going to really do anything to measure that. Like you said, there's no really enforcing it. So
Mhm.
team doctors, you're going to have league doctors checking players or something.
So you're saying baseball players are tougher than basketball players?
No, there's a different grind to playing a game of basketball. Baseball, once you're in baseball condition, it's a lot looser limbs, a lot different of an approach. Basketball is very hard on your legs, very, very difficult to run full court as comparison to run bases, especially, depending on your position. You could be a DH, you could be a pitcher, you could be off the bench. There's a lot of different things. For in the basketball game, regardless of what you are, if you're in the game, you're running. So, I don't think that the 162 games is a comparison to the 82 games. It's just a matter of, I think all of a sudden the number 82 in the NBA has been seen as a magical feat. You played all 82 games. That's a big deal. And I'm not saying it's not hard to do, but I'm saying everyone used to do it. So I don't understand why everything has improved in our world except for the players' ability to play 82 games, even though they're in the best shape ever. And for the leagues, there's no look at the athletes we have now. A guy like John Paxton or Hornacek or all these mid-tier guys, Rick Smiths, guys that have no athletic ability, were playing all the games. And they were playing against the best players in the world. They were playing against Gary Paytons and Jordans and people like that all the time. So I don't understand why you get a guy let's look at another mid-tier player like a Brandon Ingram or somebody like that who's athletic and has stamina and has the best trainers and all the medicine and the flights and the hotels and catered to. And I'm not saying he doesn't play the games, but you know what I mean. Someone of that ability,
Right.
that's a mid-tier star that should be sitting out games. He's not going to sit out games. So why should Kawhi sit out games? Why should LeBron sit out games? I mean, LeBron's a little older, but even still, just reduce the minutes and play in the game. You don't need to not play,
Did he play all 82 this shit? No, he was. How many games did
I'm not. I feel like it was close, but I'm not going to knock him per se. But it was
Oh
just.
yeah, I'm not even him.
Yeah.
35.
Even he, exactly. Even he pretty much did it. So I'm I don't understand how the oldest players are still doing it. But you get these mid-level aged guys that want to sit out.
Yeah.
Just play every game and play less minutes if that's the case. Then do whatever you want at that point. But there's no reason that anyone should be sitting out any games if they're healthy.
You think 72 games is here to stay?
I can see that.
The 72 game season?
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to do the 72 games and then, implement play-ins or do some kind of little thing with those leftover stuff to make your money for your contract, TV deals and stuff like that, I guess I'm not a big hater on that because most of the times, I mean, other than the West thing being 3 through 6 are decided by half a game every single year or something like that, most of the playoff teams are the playoff teams. So at least by that point, you've already established who the best are and who should be and where they are. So it's just if you want to put a little heart in it and get your better position, cool. But I'd be okay with them doing 72 games and then taking those other parts to make it up in other ways, like a tournament or something. So I do think it's here to stay, though, unfortunately.
I mean, if they can reduce the number of back-to-backs by expanding the schedule with the 72, and like you said, making that up on the back end with the playing games, I'd be okay with that.
Me too. Back-to-backs are rough. I mean, I know everyone in history has always done it, but they are rough. I can imagine.
And with the added caveat of COVID this year, I mean, you already see a few teams, personnel, players, Wiseman and Green already tested positive. So
Turn the light off.
This season's going to be pretty rough.
Hallway.
We'll see if we'll see if it plays out or they have to eventually go into another bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the bubble. I mean, that changes things. Do you really push for seeding if you're going to go to a bubble? You know?
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree, man. Because I mean, we're talking a vaccine coming out. It may change things a bit, but depth is going to be tested this season.
Mm-hmm. Once again.
And I like that, actually, not in terms of the benefit of people getting sick or anything like that, but I like when most of your rosters use. I know come playoff time, you shrink down to 8-9 man rotation or whatever, maybe, but I like when you get more of your roster being utilized. Like you look at other sports, you use your entire roster almost every game. Basketball is like in the regular season, like I said, you use the whole 12 or whatever you can, 10, but come playoffs, you're only using 6-7 players, 8 at the max. It's nice to see the entire roster still get utilized because even back in the day, that's kind of how it was. The same players you saw in the regular season Bulls Knicks game was the same players you saw in the finals Bulls, Eastern Finals Bulls Knicks game. So I like when the rosters are great and like fully utilized, but obviously I don't want it to come because of people getting sick or COVID testing or any of that stuff. But it's kind of the world we're in at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, and speaking of rest, Nate Robinson took one last Saturday. My man decided, he wanted to be a boxer, represent the NBA, and I mean, give him credit. He made it to the second round. Kid, you're used to knockouts and rings, wrestling rings. Any thoughts on Nate Robinson taking one for the team?
I mean, jumping into a boxing ring is probably, as an athlete that's playing for the NBA, the NFL, or anything else, it's probably the riskiest thing you could do for your persona because you almost have nothing to gain, and you're going against somebody who is not a professional boxer, but puts so much time into boxing. Doesn't matter if you're professional or not. The only difference is he just didn't choose to fight anybody else yet. So essentially now he's a professional boxer. That was bad, obviously. It's as bad as it could have been. Yeah. But like I said, he got to the second round, and, kudos to that. It's just, this happens in any other country. The talk could be a little different. But in America, the knockout, that's all we're going to focus on. You're not going to get credit for the fact that you were able to stay against a guy that's twice your size, able to step in the first place and take that risk because most people wouldn't have. So I'll still give him a lot of props. But that should be his last fight ever, for sure.
Yeah, man.
If he's still awake.
Yeah, he might still be scraping.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah. And by the way, he was wearing his high school colors. He wasn't wearing Knick colors. I'm not taking the L on that one.
Some Knick colors right there.
That was Lanier High School. And what? Nope.
Charles Oakley swings.
Nope. But yeah, he did it. Like I said, he was aggressive, which you knew he was going to be because that's how he was on the court. He's very aggressive. But, trying to stick his jab, but his defense, you kind of saw something like that happening because he left himself open. And Jake, he got, I'm going to use a throwback word. He got snuffed. Good Lord. He just hit him. Oh, God. Poor Nate. But like you said, give him props for getting in there. I know I wouldn't be able to do it. I might get a jab into something. I mean, that's about it. And the lights out for me. But he had a few. He had a few in them, and then damn.
Yeah, it's bad. It sucks. Such a nice, innocent underdog guy. I mean, he was talking a lot, but you know what I mean? Like, in his NBA career, now it's story is Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I was watching SVU last night, and Logan Paul was in an old episode. I was like, look at this guy. I didn't even place him at that time.
Yeah, speaking of that, him and Floyd? Yeah, that's going to be real fun.
Yeah, I'm all Team Floyd there, though. And I'm not even like a Floyd person because I tend to go against Floyd. but I'm all for boxing and being as big as it can be because I love boxing. I like boxing more than UFC. That's kind of the minority. But any chance you can get some eyes on boxing, like the Terrell Spence fight and things like that, I'm all in. I'm all in for that. I'm all in for that.
Yeah, that was a good. He put it on Garcia.
Yeah, I was hoping that would be a little closer. Not necessarily because I didn't want him to win, because I did want him to win, but it was a little less anticlimactic than I would have hoped.
Yeah, he was hitting them every which way.
I just Max Kellerman, you guys. I turned it from NBA to boxing.
which is fine because the idea that Floyd has to take one back for the team is kind of disheartening in itself. A bunch of shoulder rolls and hit, don't get hit.
Counter punching, you know it's gonna be. He's gonna take it the same way.
He boxes the same way I avoid bees.
Oh man.
It's been great having you on. You're a multi-talented superstar yourself. You got any projects coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually filming a video this weekend. Taking 2 songs, Invisible and Lonesome, making them into one video.
Okay.
So yeah, seamlessly. So it's not like one of those the video's going, then all of a sudden it just breaks into a whole nother video for a second, then comes back to the original. So it's one story all the way through. So try to 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. I'm trying to get more videos out there. It's kind of my thing now to really push as many visuals as I can. So thanks. I love being on here. I talk basketball all day, obviously. I never shut up. So anytime you need me, I'm here. Pencil me in.
Oh man, I love it. Love your energy. Love your passion, man, and love your videos.
Oh, definitely. Thanks, man. Trying. That's the weight of what I got. Yeah.
I want to hear one of those songs in the stadium. I'm telling you.
I know it's gonna be Flex or something that you like. I'm like,
telling you,
that still gets my most plays. I'm like, what the heck?
I told you, man. I was just like, I heard it. I'm like, okay, and it's just something that will get the crowd hyped up. You can't flex with me, bitch. No.
Yeah, it has the boom 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 boom. Like it kind of has that like sub bass that people like. I'm like, ugh. It's my least favorite song of my songs.
Freaking definitely check his music out. Tell him what you can. Also, Revelation. I love that dude.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
It brings you into a certain mode.
That was already my favorite song. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Definitely.
Tell them where you can reach you at, man.
At Real Sale Kid on IG.
Platforms, man.
Oh yeah. Twitter, Snap, Instagram, TikTok even. Not that I mess with that too much, but all at Real Seal Kid, RealClkid. YouTube channel, just CL Kid. Should be immediate first search now. I've moved up the rankings. It's been my goal to build the SEO and stuff. So should be on the first page immediately now, finally. So that's good. Bump that other CL Korean girl. And now, other than that, I mean, Facebook, same thing, CL Kid for the business page, Charles Martinez. As you said many times, personal. I'm down to talk on either. Message me, comment me, like me, share me, subscribe me. I'm in on everything.
I love it, man. Subscribe there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on the Life Group Podcast. You can catch Donk City on Mondays with Vince and Henry. Sunday mornings, Total Base Podcast with Felipe and Sean Connor Flannery. And the Audible on Tuesday nights and Friday afternoons with Randy Hammond and Matt Bushnell. I was on last night giving Matt Bushnell the business, as he deserved. He took it like a man. Proud of him. But all the podcasts on the network do a great job. Our man here does a great job, and we thank him for giving us his time and energy. Guys, have any parting words for the audience?
You know what? Season's starting up. Can't wait for those first games. Can't wait for those Christmas games. But I'm just to say right now, Sixers are going nowhere. Just for you, Gunsmoke Jake. I don't understand how that's your nickname, but they're going nowhere. Tired of them. I want to shut it down now. I don't care if they get Harden. I don't care what they get. They're done. Out there, not making it past the first round.
There we go.
Not much shock
I feel
factor
it.
there to me, but I keep having to hear about the Sixers.
Nah, I feel it. Hey. Yeah, I'm ready for the next season. I mean, we got a nice young squad. We got Obi. We got, I believe in Kevin Knox. Hopefully Frank takes that step. My guy RJ. I'll be keeping an eye on them. Keeping go back to the north. I'm talking about Minnesota. I'll keep an eye on them. Hopefully Towns and Russell make some noise out there. I'm going to be watching a lot of basketball this year, especially. We're doing it every week, so going back to every week. So I'm going to be trying to watch as much basketball as I can. Thank you to everybody. CL, thank you for coming on. All the other life groups, like it, subscribe. Everybody puts everything into this. I know it's going to be tough. Let's talk about the audible for a second, because I think when the Jets go 0-16, I might be on there with my head down. We're going to be like the Lions. I was kind of hyped. I'm sorry. I was hyped because I was like, damn, we're not the Lions. All of a sudden they lost, and then I got an SMD from Leon. I was pretty pissed. That's the one thing I can say I have. My team has never been winless, and that shit's about to happen. So I know Matt Bushnell's looking at his shots like,
Man.
Yeah, pissed off, but it's about to be rough. But yeah,
I don't even talk about football.
Yeah. I said from the beginning, they gonna get Joe Burrow killed. Offensive line, he gonna die.
Oh, Bengals.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
But you can cut it.
And what Bushel had on Thursday.
Oh shit.
I have nothing to say.
He switched that Bears hat though. He said, "Whoop." That sucks.
I gotta stop messing with him. That's my guy.
Yeah, he's fun, man. They do a great job. Him and Randy are great, man. I love watching them. I really never miss an episode because they always just really insightful. Dong City's another one. Vince Mercandetti and Henry, those guys complement each other very well. And us, hopefully we'll get the lab, coming back around. Sean, kind of Flannery, my guy, my Mets brother, and Felipe. And those guys are, listen, you want fantasy expertise right there, you need to go and watch that. They are great. Hopefully, you guys can make a little return. Pod jobbers, I miss seeing that.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to invite, I'm going to do some kind of watch parties for different events. I've been watching. Listen, I've been stuck in the house. I kind of beat COVID. Yeah, bringing in the drum. I'm feeling a lot better. But I want to do something where we pick, and I've been watching a lot of WWE Network stuff. And I want to get on watch parties like we did with basketball, but do it for the events so we can kind of throw it back and talk about it and stuff like that, whether how shitty it was, because I've noticed a lot of it was shitty. But it was fun to us because we were so young and into it. But when you start, because when you get older, you start analyzing shit, you're like,
yeah, you're like, damn.
This is trash. Like, what the hell did this? But yeah, I want to start doing stuff like that to keep the wrestling group, bumping up. Even boxing, I would love to do stuff like that just to keep us together because, we got shit else to do. I mean, besides, I'm working remotely. You doing your thing, your music working. Leon, you still going out there, braving it. Any shit else to do.
I'm essential.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
There you go.
We don't.
Hey, man, I'm down for any of those things. So you let me know. I'll jump in on that for sure.
Absolutely.
Nice. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, probably right before Christmas. Be on the lookout for the fantasy basketball update. Keep off of drugs, and until next time, ball out.
Ball out.